YouTube? It's your boy 41 Pop. We back with another video. She tried to defend DEI. This happened. Hey, yo. All right, so a lot of stuff been going on with the DEI and gaming, DEI comments and all that stuff, right? So let's get into it. We want to know this. I got the whole story here, part for part segments. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make it into one video. So let's get into it. Grab your popcorn. Let's get it.
This woman writes, "The discourse is BS. Shut the heck up." A thread. And indeed, she's made a 7-part thread here that's now collected over 500,000 views in the initial tweet.
That's a lot.
And it's now going kind of viral in gaming circles. And
what does it say? Nobody is coming to save you.
And it's now going...
No incels are going to band together to create an immaculately gate-kept industry for you. The existential dread you grapple with has everything to do with the fact that you weren't loved enough and that most people find... That's actually not true. The incels have banded together. They're on r/Asmongold. I don't know what...
Hey, yo, he funny for that, but not true. That's 100%. 100%. People like to band together, bro. So it's always like everything. And it's a regular thing. It's a regular thing.
Yeah, this has already happened.
Kind of viral.
What do you mean?
Circles. And in her thread, she comes off
My bad, Katie. I'm doing a YouTube video.
Extremely angry, very unhappy with gamers for having the audacity to criticize corrupt corporations in the gaming industry. She seems to really want to defend those corpos. She also attempts to defend DEI consultation companies.
Right.
And spoiler alert, her claims are very easily disproven. So she's taken an extremely unwise position here. We'll get to all that stuff. It should be a fun one. First, a little bit more context on who this even is. With 22,000 followers, she's on Twitch and YouTube, and in her bio says she's UX R&D and game and media production by day, a lore keeper by night. Providing additional information in her pinned tweet, she says, "Hey new folks, I'm Ray. I work in the gaming industry in UX R&D plus game production. I worked on various software and hardware for Xbox. I now work as an independent media producer and had the privilege of working on the Dota Internationals 2023 and other gaming media projects."
Yeah.
Okay, with that context, let's return to her
she big balling, huh?
and see what all she has to say. She begins with part 1 saying, "DEI consultation companies don't bully studios into changing creative direction. They act as resources to help creatives portray a lived experience. The Northman is an example of this." Okay, so first of all...
I'm sure sometimes that's true, but I'm sure sometimes it's not true. I feel like that's really what it's about. Like, sure, sometimes that makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't. Like, I mean, anybody could expect that sometimes it makes sense.
When people are talking about DEI consultation companies, they're often talking about that in reference to video games.
Yeah.
Which in her next thread, she also talks about video games. So it's odd that her example of DEI consultation companies not bullying studios is a movie. But whatever. Okay, just kind of funny. Allow me to address the main point, which is her claim that DEI consultation companies don't bully studios into changing.
All right, I'll check you out. Check out your stuff.
Ray is absolutely incorrect here. There is on-air evidence of, for example, Kim Belair of Sweet Baby Inc. advocating for creatives to essentially extort, to threaten others at their workplace into putting part of the budget towards consultation firms.
If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years, put this stuff up to your higher-ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
She has essentially...
That's crazy how they just say that. Like, that seems like...
That's crazy. All right. That's crazy.
You shouldn't have said that. Yeah, I mean, ooh, that's not so good, huh?
I followed you.
Man.
Show love.
Shit with a smile, too? That's because people like this think they're untouchable because they're part of a group that can't be criticized. That's the reason why. They think they can say and do whatever they want because they have some kind of unique privilege. And anytime that people isn't that racketeering? It is. It basically is. So what happens is that they have there's like a whole culture around this. There's a reward structure around this. And like it's built like this, where if you don't do what they want, they then take what you're doing and then they misconstrue it into you being a bad person. Right?
Well,
because
duh.
like there's an entire like industry and like apparatus that's built around necessitating this type of consultancy and this type of inclusion. And you see this happen whenever people go off of the beaten path and they go off script, like, you know, Stellar Blade, Black Myth Wukong, and they don't follow these different paradigms, then they get in trouble. Yep. And that's what happens. And so like the apparatus isn't created just by those DEI companies. It's also created by like journalism, and it's created by publishers as well. And like they all act as like a pipeline to make this happen. The mafia is less subtle. That's true.
Made this same speech multiple times. I'll play another example of this. In this one, she also does this thing where she's like, haha, it's just a joke though, but not really. Seriously, you should do this.
Have a coffee with marketing so that you can absolutely terrify them by telling them, here's
thing.
what's going to happen if you don't do this. And
see, like you look at like what this says womanize. Like this is, what the fuck do you mean by this? What do you mean by this? Like this is crazy. People trying to
Build connections with marketing and express the value of it.
push their agenda.
Realistically, women are in video games a lot. Like,
That push their identity onto something.
you want a whole woman game?
Amazing.
I know what she wants. She wants a woman game with gay men. That's what she wants. She wants a woman game with gay men. That's what she wants.
Amazing.
I say that sometimes like as a joke. I say talk to marketing and scare
They'll be
them.
happy.
But consider honestly the possibility that like those people have to sit and deal with everyone who's going to come at them if this is a mistake. They have a
Yeah, exactly. And that's
Well,
why you shouldn't
obviously,
listen to
right?
people like her. Is because there's a lot of people that don't like this kind of stuff,
Yeah,
and the more that they speak out, the less people listen to her. And that's what's happening now. Is you see that more and more people are seeing this happen, and they're like, well, actually, I really don't like this. And now you see companies that are taking these people off of their branding. They're not using them. It's because these guys, they thought that the companies were on their side. I think this is a huge problem, is that, you know, like this, like DEI, like sweet baby shit. Like they thought that the companies were operating to help them, right? That there was like a shared ideology. The company only cares about money. And if you can trick the company into thinking that doing what you want will make them make money, then they'll do what you want. But never forget that one thing causes the other. It's not like there's like which came first, the chicken or the egg? No, the money is the reason why they're
What came first, the chicken or the egg? I think the egg came first, right?
doing it.
vested interest in reducing harm and of keeping the sentiment around your project positive. And there's a genuine value
there's
of inclusion
Ubisoft
there.
right there. Yeah,
that's
true.
not just ethical, it's monetary. And that makes it, for a lot of people in marketing, like I was once, a genuine, valid discussion to have very, very early. And sometimes that's actually where you can find your consulting budget.
It's pretty gross how these people openly gaslight others, whether it's other people in
Well, they
general or
gaslight
their
the
coworkers,
companies.
trying
That's
to say
what they
that
do.
it's harmful and unethical to not use consultation firms.
Yeah.
Isn't that convenient? Hey, if you don't use our company, if you don't pay us, you're unethical and harmful. Her claims that there's a
Which is crazy. Like, people, like, just don't like you as a person. How about that?
monetary
That's
benefit.
exactly.
New report says Sony's Concord cost $400 million to make. No fucking. That's a damn lie. No way that game ain't cost no $400 million. They just putting that out there to make people feel bad. Ain't nobody gonna feel bad for you. That game was ass. Ain't gonna lie. Not garbage. And you put it out in a weird $400 million. When Overwatch been running MOBA for the past like 4 or 5 years, maybe even longer. You want to spend $400 million? Y'all are dumb. You're better off doing a new battle royale, like off the grid. Off the grid is amazing. I'm pretty sure that ain't cost no $400 million. So Come on.
Exactly what they do. Is that they try to create, and this is how it happens, right? Is that they create an apparatus that necessitates their existence. And the way that happens is that the people that are involved with them are also involved with journalism. So when they're not included in the creative process.
I heard about that. Did a take on that too with the journalism on video games. The videos called 7 out of 10. Why do gaming companies rate videos 7 out of 10? And realistically, bro, these journalists are just real people with feelings. If you have a great game, they don't care. If they came to your thing and you ain't give them a pass to come play your game for free, and they ain't get no free whatever exposure that they needed as, they want to be entitled. Remember that. They will rate your game 7. You know what I'm saying? They might give it a worse rating if you ain't give them no cookies.
Then journalists cause problems for the companies for not doing that. And you saw that with, for example, like Black Myth Wukong. I think that's probably the best recent example. Then publishers are worried about bringing on those companies because now there's a bunch of negative press about them. And so you create a feedback loop that makes the company seem like it's bad.
AKA IGN. IGN is big for that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of their games, a lot of the ratings, we got to go to IGN. Let's go to movies. Metacritics, Rotten Apple. It's not foreseeing God. These are regular people that have a job that, you know what? They went to go see the movie, and one part of the movie probably went against their religion or went against how they were raised, and they rated a 4.5. And you watch the movie and you're like, damn, this shit like a 9 out of 10. This shit was fire. And Rotten Critic gave it. It wasn't the whole. It's a whole. I mean, it's a studio, obviously, right? It's just regular employees. One person gave it that. The other people around him, his co-workers, I'm pretty sure don't agree. That's how it goes.
Bad, and it's a completely, like, it's totally fake. Like, there's no actual, like, real, like, this isn't actually happening. It's just fake. And what are the chances a big corporate is going to incorporate DEI into a competitor to lower their stock price? Well, I don't know about that. If you don't hire our services, then you're gay. Well, it's, I think.
There you go. If you don't hire our services, then you're gay. How many times you heard that as a kid? If you don't do something, you're gay. So you do it. Hey, yo, I'm telling you, bro, these companies are just regular people, bro. There's no foreseeing God. Just regular people like me and you. If I rubbed you wrong, you're like, fuck you. That's all it is. Hey, yo, Concord done rubbed a lot of wrong people, especially Osmond Gold. You know why they rubbed Osmond Gold wrong? They made him pay for the game. Therefore, he rated the game a 4 out of 10. They hate him for that. Now it's and the problem is he's really big right now for ratings. So, 400 mil, you think they give a fuck? No.
I think it's the opposite, number one. But number two, here's the problem, is that what they do is they go and they basically, like with the journalism, I think that's the worst part about it. I think the journalism and the way that it's like covered in media is way worse.
It's the worst part.
And then content creators make money off
no true reactions. These are just you could play something, you could watch something, you know it's good. You know it's ass. You don't need someone to tell you, oh, the ratings on it said it was a 5 out of 5, so I gotta. You saw the trailer. You know damn well that shit trash.
Farming to rage bait? Yeah, of course. Absolutely. And the media, yeah, and again, like, they could not exist without the media creating a necessity for them to exist in.
Right.
It's all part of an ecosystem.
Are also highly questionable, and that's me putting it lightly. There's been so many examples of DEI.
In black terms, I'm gonna put it as in the Atlanta rap. Think of Atlanta rap scene. how music is made down there. They just bounce off of each other. The money's going back and forth. It's the same thing with these industry. Dustborn is one of those DEI games. I actually did a reaction to this game on my other channel, 41 Pop Gaming on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like and subscribe. This game was truly ass. I am not gonna lie. It's refreshing. It has a lot of DEI content. I'm not going. It has every part of this game is DEI. It's a refreshing take on a movie type of feel, like give a cartoon kind of feel. Gameplay is trash. They put stuff in it to make it seem like it's a game. It's completely trash. Completely trash. You know what I'm saying? I highly doubt anyone's going to play this game. Players, it came out. I didn't even know it came out.
Lately, for example, Concord, Dustborn,
6.
SK the JL, Tales of Kenzera.
That's absolutely insane.
There's been so many examples.
6 players playing the game right now.
Of DI.
24-hour peak, 11 players. All-time peak, 2 months, 83 players. That's a fail. That's bad. That's not even a game. You might as well just give that out for free.
Related games lately, for example, Concord, Dustborn,
6.
Suicide Squad left a $200 million hole. I'm not gonna lie. Suicide Squad failed unbelievably. It's like they spent all the money on the rights to use the characters. The game was just mediocre. And everything was behind the paywall. Like you spent money on the game so you could level up shit and get new shit. You're not getting shit new for your character, bro. You want a new look? You're gonna have to pay for that. It ain't no grind and unlock and like, oh, let's get new moves and level them up. Nah, it's what you get. It's just that's it. And they failed. Story was trash. They had little good parts about it. I'm not gonna lie. The way they killed Flash, absolutely insane. You don't kill a legend like that. Flash is a legend, and he's not easily taken down like that. So the way they killed Flash was absolutely insane. I feel like it should have been better. You know what I mean? That's what it is. As end of the day, it should have been way better. Massive fail.
SK the JL, Tales of Kenzera Zhao, that have been absolute financial disasters.
Yep.
Back to Ray's thread, there's part 2 where she says, games are not falling apart due to some conspiracy. They're falling apart due to insanely high interest rates and poor investment decisions. We're also in a recession. So what exactly is she calling a conspiracy theory? The implication seems to be that she's saying that
if games were failing because we were in a recession and because of high interest rates, that would affect all games. But it seems like only games like Concord and Assassin's Creed Shadows and games like Dustborn, for example, are being affected. So if this was a economic-wide problem, it would affect all games, but it's not. I mean, this is basic scientific method. Like, there's a control group. The control group isn't having this happen, which means that this cause isn't the reason why the changes.
Well, I don't think it's a control group. I think it's some companies are just making too much money to give a fuck, right? Activision, why would they care? Call of Duty, Warzone, oh my God, it's averaging damn near 40,000 players daily. Like, they don't really care about, unless they need to make a change, they're not going to. It's basically, what is it? Don't fix it unless it's broke. You know what I'm saying? Why would they? It's about the money. At the end of the day, these new companies are trying to bend over for these comments, these people that's typing away on the internet and don't even play the game, bro. Like, literally won't even play the game. Like, imagine you arguing and just 90% of them are arguing. Never played the game. Never played a game. I'm not saying never played a game. I'm saying never played the game they're arguing about. You don't got no voice in this.
It's happening. How can anybody not think like this?
Companies are not harming games in any way. That's just a conspiracy theory, in which it certainly isn't. That said, sure, they're not like solely responsible for a lot of these games' failures, but they're definitely a factor. She also said that gaming companies are falling apart due to insanely high interest rates. And her evidence backing those claims up are an image of Wikipedia where they talk about gaming industry layoffs.
I know Wikipedia in the past has been like, oh shit, people just can post whatever they want type shit. A lot of this shit on Wikipedia itself, they fact check. It's a company. They fact check. You know what I'm saying? And they will fix stuff. Don't get me wrong. They don't fix everything now. Some of that shit is just a joke at the end of the day, but a lot of this shit be true. Y'all gotta listen. Some of this shit be true.
And a second image that talks about tech company layoffs.
So has it ever occurred to you that the layoffs are happening as an outcome of these bad games being released and not making money?
Facts. Releasing games that's not necessarily always bad, but unoptimized. They're not optimized to play. Like you gotta have like a fucking 4090 to play it, and even then they're getting like 80 frames. So you gotta have a high, and not a lot of people can afford that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them. You know, I can't afford a high-end PC, so I can't play a lot of the games until like maybe a couple months later when they're fully optimized. Why release a game that's not optimized? That's extremely, you're going to fail. Therefore, you're not going to see the real calling of your game, because now I got to wait 2 months to actually play a game for a real update so it actually works. In the meantime of that 2 months, a better game might come out, or a game that's not even close to being better, but it works perfectly and it's good. And there you go. Just took all your shine. You know what I'm saying?
Because Capcom is hiring new people. So is
Capcom
From
is doing
Software.
good.
They just announced that they're raising salaries.
From Software is doing all right. So he's talking about companies that are like beyond. They're doing great. You know what I'm saying? Like Activision, Capcom is doing great. From Software, Tyson done brought that company through the roof. They're doing phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Plus, every other streamer love their games. They're getting promotion for free, and they don't need to even make a commercial. You heard? Like, these companies don't need to lay off. They just need to grow. Now, there will be a point of layoffs. We speaking too soon. That's what it is. From Software is good now. I'm not going to say they might never fail, but companies do have dips where they, you know, before Warzone, Call of Duty was going down. Like, they was trying to find the next wave. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fortnite was killing it. They released their first BR. I think it was in Black Ops 3 or 4. I want to say Black Ops 4 had the first Call of Duty BR, and it was trash. It was complete trash, and it got way better over years. You know what I'm saying? Now it's at the point where they're on their pedestal. They number one right now, right? Like Fortnite up there too, but Call of Duty killing it right now, bruh. No bull. It is what it is, bruh. It is what it is. That's how company. That's how game goes. It goes up, down. You got to learn how to read them graphs.
So how is this like an industry? Yeah, what is this? How is this happening?
And she's essentially wrong on this because it's debatable whether high interest rates or low interest rates can be more negatively impactful to the gaming industry. But the argument for high interest rates being an issue for the gaming industry is that investment firms may seek alternative investments that are less risky. And when it comes to layoffs, the evidence that she seems to be using, the argument
this is happening with all tech companies, not video game companies.
Right.
Yeah, it's happening with everything.
More so that low interest rates can actually cause more video game layoffs because they potentially lead to more mergers and acquisitions, which can then lead to more redundancy and then cause layoffs. So this woman's arguments are all over the place. She really does not seem to know what she's talking about here. Oh, and she did include a third image, which is this one.
Games industry leaders brace for up to 2 years of pain. Oh my God.
All right.
The only thing that's surprising to me about
I'm pretty sure she hasn't been playing video games in the past year. Bro, gaming is on a rise. Gaming is on its rise. And you think it's been big before, it's going to be even bigger now. If y'all haven't seen Unreal Engine 5.5 or the new Unity 6 engine, oh my God. She kind of lost right here. That's why I'm saying these people are regular people, and half the time they don't even play the game.
This is, they say that it's only going to be 2 years. I think it's going to be a lot more.
This does nothing to help her at all. Now, to be fair, she also said poor investment decisions by the gaming companies.
Well, like, has it ever occurred to you that those...
Yeah, that's true. They do make... But it's investors, you know what I'm saying? And they do what they're told. It's a business. At the end of the day, they gotta have to deliver. They just need to deliver better, optimized games. We get your vision. Let us be the judge, but we can't judge something that don't work. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, some games go through it where it's like, yo, we know this is great, so it is what it is. We're gonna wait for y'all to fix it. We just know it's gonna be great. Like Cyberpunk 2077. That game was ass when it came out. That shit was unoptimized like a motherfucker, but everyone knew it was great. You know what I'm saying? Throwing in Liberty hit me with a curveball. I ain't gonna lie. I thought that was gonna be ass. Optimization it's not as bad as a Cyberpunk, but it needs some work. Still a great game. Great game. Off the grid. That game is unoptimized like hell. But the potential is there. Everyone see it. It has great features that we know other BR has that we're kind of similar with its own take. Phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be able to play. You just know it's going to break. Game.
Poor investment decisions are things like Concord that are informed by criteria that don't reflect gamers, like DEI. Like, it's crazy how people can talk directly past the problem that's staring them right in the face. It's like the poor investment decision is that game. That was the poor investment decision.
Right.
It's like you're right, but you're right in a completely...
Like, you're completely wrong way.
Proving yourself wrong.
You're basically contradicting yourself, right?
Themselves, yeah.
Naturally, a lot of us do it. We do it on a regular scale. Graphics are through the roof. Katie knows graphics are through the roof. So, like, to say gaming is gonna die is absolutely insane.
By the way, paying for DI consultation is a part of those poor investment decisions.
Exactly.
Finally,
yes.
Yeah, things like recession and inflation are also going to be factors.
Blue boxes, double battle passes. Like, you got to buy the battle pass, and they got this extra version of the battle pass that you get to give you the same weapons but different camos. That's a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Like, these games are taking our money. We know this. It's when they go too far. That's the problem. When they go too far, that's where we draw the line. You know what I'm saying? We was not going to give Suicide Squad our bread. We don't care how much you spend on Concord. We're not going to give you our money. It's ass. Overwatch was... I loved Overwatch, but my time spent in Overwatch, I'll never forget, bro. I only paid like $50 for the game. $50-$60 for the game. I ain't never spent $1 more. I had years of fun. And they could have took more if they really wanted to. I just didn't see the need.
Now, moving on, it looks like she's given up attempting to use evidence for her claims, which, while that wasn't
smart.
Going well for her, at least
that's a smart idea. Never use evidence, because then people can say that you're wrong.
It was something.
Well, obviously.
The rest of her thread just devolves into insults. So yeah, very angry person here. The good news is reading this is going to be really entertaining, at least in my opinion. So,
what game is this? This game looks like kind of ass. That door break is weird. What the fuck?
Let's see what she's seething about next. 4. Nobody is coming to save you. No incels are going to band together to create an immaculately gate-kept industry for you. The existential dread you grapple with has everything to do with the fact you weren't loved enough, and that most people find you insufferable.
I think W reading. I think he read that exactly how she wrote it.
This is my favorite thing about this is like the kind of people that say this are the ones that have like 17,000 tweets and their account is 2 years old.
Bruh. Imagine that. Are you tweeting while playing a game? Are you tweeting while fucking doing dishes? Are you tweeting while taking a shower? How do you even do this, bro? And you have the audacity to comment on something that people grind. What is this comment? No matter how much muscle mass you grind out at the gym, people will still find you obnoxious and repulsive because you never learn how to listen to other folks' lived experiences. And fuck your experience. Fuck. I'm too busy grinding.
Like they're making like 500 tweets a day or something like that. They're on Twitter all day, typing, talking, terminally online. Yeah.
Yo, hey, you know what's funny? A lot of them are doing multiple. They're multitasking. They're typing to multiple people. They're arguing. You think you're arguing with you, and you're fixated with this because you're into this subject, and this is something that you know about and you passionate about. They're not into it as much as they're literally arguing about 5 different topics right now, and they're growing their page. That's all they're doing. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, what are you doing?
5. No matter how much muscle mass you grind out at the gym, people will still find you obnoxious and repulsive because you never learned how to listen to other folks' lived experiences.
I mean, is she talking about her ex-boyfriend? I mean, did she have like a bad experience with like an ex-boyfriend that was like rude to her and went to the gym, and so now she's like making a Twitter? It might be. You're right, guys. It could also be your dad.
Oh, daddy issues.
Dude, she's completely lost it, man. She's just so mad now.
Oh, man.
6. The idea of freedom and independence has been sold to you so that you don't feel any internal responsibility to care for or feel interconnected to others within your community.
So freedom and independence is bad. Okay. All right. Got it. She deserved it. Yeah, she thinks she's smart. That's how it is.
That's how it naturally goes.
Amended. Stop giving yourself psychosis. We are in an incredibly fragile state, because not all of us have mental health care. But stop frickin' lurking conspiracy theory boards when you don't have support.
Let's see if this person has... Did it show her profile account? Where are we at? We're at 709? Okay, to be fair... She doesn't have a mental disorder listed in her bio. Usually they have mental disorders in their bio.
Bruh, he's trying to play the show.
When you don't have support. Oh, and 7, indies are gonna carry us for a while.
That's true.
Shout out to amazing powerhouse indie game devs.
But why are they? Why is that happening?
I don't believe that. I really don't believe that. I love indie games. I'm not gonna. There's a few that come out and you're just like, damn. But lately it hasn't been indie. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if this was 2021, COVID era, I would say yeah. But no, I don't believe it. I think AAA is gonna go to quadruple A. AAA is gonna carry. Quadruple A is gonna be, that over for us. You know what I'm saying? I think From Software is going to give us that real next experience. I feel like GTA 6 is that quadruple A we've been waiting for. You know what I mean? Like, we're getting teased right now. Like, Black Myth Wukong was a tease. It was a tease. It was subtle. You know what I'm saying? I feel like even Elden Ring is kind of a tease. You know what I mean? With the expansion of how it is. I say the character physics could be a lot better in Elden Ring, but as in the world and everything you experience and their physics, it was a tease. You know what I mean? Like what? Red Dead Redemption. Oh my god. Red Dead Redemption 2. I used to just walk around and just follow people. I was the creep. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to see what they were doing. I'm like, bruh, I want to play the game. I just want to see what they do with their lives, because Rockstar did something amazing, bro. They gave everyone in that game a backstory. Every person in that game has a backstory. They wake up, they eat breakfast, they eat lunch, they go to work, they go do whatever they do after. Either they go see their woman, they go to the bar, or they go whatever they like to do. Go smoke, have chill with their friends. At a certain time, let's say 10, everyone's different. Some are drunks. They get drunk, and you see them waddling out the bar. They throwing up, and you see what they go to their house. Some of them sleep on the side of the fucking road or on a bench. They go to sleep. And then you see the nighttime workers come out. That's been asleep all day, and they work at night. That game is beyond amazing, bro. They've been teasing us for a while for these quadruple A games. The bullshit Outlaw, I ain't played Star Wars Outlaw, but I watched a lot of footage on it, and it wasn't worth my money. I'll be honest with you. That's not even a triple A game. That's a headache. And I hate headaches. So I'm not touching that.
It's because they're not adopting this type of ideology. That's why the indie games are very popular. It's one of the reasons.
I love y'all. Okay, well, yeah, indie devs are awesome, but my gosh, dude, what is wrong with this person? I love how she also demonizes working out and simultaneously acts like she cares about mental health. There's been numerous studies that link the benefits of
it's like, yeah, you care about mental health, and then you're going to call people that disagree with you that they're unloved and nobody will ever care about them. It's just the typical, like, you want to talk about, like, toxic masculinity. This is, like, toxic, like, femininity, right? This is, like, this is the pinnacle toxic female. Like, can you imagine what would...
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Maybe it's the other way around. You know what I'm saying? And I feel for women, because it's y'all time to shine, bro. It's women time to shine. For real, bro. I want y'all to shine. But, like, I like video games. Don't ruin that for me, please. No, I ain't coming and trying to do your makeup and saying, yo, man, pick this shadow. You know what goes with your skin. You don't want nobody changing what you like. Or like my games. If you like them, play them. Play them with me. Play them with me.
Would happen if you were in a relationship with a person like that and something didn't go the way they wanted? Can you imagine, like, going out to dinner and they didn't get what they want? Can you imagine how unpleasant that drive back to the house would be?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Somebody wrote in comment, I'm leaving. Hey, yo. Don't play with her belly.
God. Like, think about that. Literally my life. Exactly, right? Stop, please. Hey, bro, I'm being serious. There are very many like that. I know. I know.
My girl isn't like that anymore, but back in the day when we first, ooh. And she's not like, I need filet mignon or nothing, but she just like what she like. You know what I'm saying?
Out to not just physical health, but also mental health. There's also some irony with that because a lot of people at the gym, not everyone, sure, but a lot of people there tend to be super nice. Way nicer than she's acting. Anyways, that about does it for this segment. Let me know what you think about her her thread in the comments.
It's just...
Oh, but there's more, and she continues.
Funny. I'll go ahead, I'll play it and you guys can listen to this. This was so stupid, it's crazy.
That situation I talked about the other day with that DEI defending influencer who also like worked at Xbox.
Yeah, I remember this girl.
Well, we've got a very amusing update on that situation. Also, quick side note, it turns out Osmond reacted to that video. That was pretty cool. Glad
Osmond Go.
He enjoyed that one. So really quick, this...
Hey, yo, I'm telling you, boy's on his rise, man. Dude's on his rise. And they taking that 400... Sony is taking that to the heart, to the chain, man. They're like, man, we ain't never gonna send you nothing. I'm telling you, bro. He has a big.
That was me. That's me.
Big mouth
Hey, he talking about me. Well,
This was the context. She made this thread all upset about the discourse. The discourse being gamers criticizing companies in gaming.
And I'm gonna let y'all know this too. Like, anyone can be a husband goal. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I can, but I'm just saying, like, if you love a video game and you have the work ethic, start your channel, man. Let's get this going.
And also criticizing DEI consultation companies.
We need more of this. We need more of this in the industry.
Very upset about in my coverage.
We need to get rid of the journalists and make it our own job. We need to be the journalists at this point.
I gave a reasonable response and provided evidence as to why a number of her points are just wrong. The rest of her thread was her devolving into just a barrage of insult.
It was her arguing with her. She was shadowboxing with her ex-boyfriend that goes to the gym. That was pretty much what this entire thread was. It started off as complaining and it turned into trauma dumping. That's just what happened.
That completely flopped because it really just made her look extremely petty, and many people said that she just sounded like she was projecting. At the very least, it was fortunately amusing seeing her go all rage mode, though. Provided some decent entertainment for the day. So yeah, that's just some very quick context for anyone who may have missed the prior segment, although of course if you want to see my full take, consider watching that for yourself. But now with that context, let's move on to the aforementioned update.
Okay.
We've got Thomas Mahler here saying, I'm the director behind both Ori games and I don't know who you are.
Bro, he hooter.
And how you were affiliated with Ori. Damn.
This is the guy that directed the games. And so, because this girl's going around saying, like, oh, I worked on these games. And this is the guy that directed the games. He's like, wait, really?
With Asana.
Huh? What do you mean? It goes who?
And how you were affiliated with Ori.
Yeah.
In response to that Ray person saying, hey, new folks, I'm Ray. I work in the gaming industry in UX R&D plus game production. I worked on various software and hardware for Xbox. I now work as an independent media producer and had the privilege of working on the Dota Internationals 2023 and other gaming media projects. But importantly for this context, the bottom left image showing Ori.
Yeah.
Given the time.
And here's the thing, is that Thomas is right to ask about this because, like, I don't know how many times there have been, like, video games that have had, like, look at what happened with that Godot thing. Look at what happened with Helldivers with those Discord moderators. Look at what happened with, I think there's probably one more I can think of, but, like, some community manager acting weird or some person that works at the company acting like an asshole and then making it worse for everybody that works there. And so it's like you have these people that go on Twitter and they try to basically use the fact that they worked on a game or supposedly worked on a game in this case as pretty much a way to like make themselves look more authoritative, like, oh, you should listen to me because I worked on this successful game. And so what that ends up doing is it ends up dragging that game into the controversy. It ends up turning that video game into part of the fight. And so, of course, he's going to be mad about this because she's dragging his IP into this in order to, like, make her, like, to talk about like video game politics, right? Especially saying that she worked on the game. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's and so and think about how many games that's happened to, and people have like a super negative opinion of the game. Like, oh, this is a woke game, like Concord, right, or something else. There's been other games too that are like this, and people automatically have like a really bad sentiment of it. Why would you want that to happen?
Of how he's saying this now, I can only presume he just recently saw her.
I'm not
on
into
Hinge rant.
customization.
Okay, so get
I'm
this.
kidding.
As I'm looking at this conversation and recording this video, I see that she's actually just protected her entire Twitter account.
Obviously. Obviously. Yeah, that's the funny thing with this, bruh. I ain't never play a game in my life.
Classic. Post an opinion online, be extremely hostile, and then
She, her, they, them. I'm pretty sure that's not even her real picture.
and then when people don't like it, protect your account and act like a victim. There you go, guys.
That's going to make covering this a little bit more complicated because, as you can see, it's also affecting her responses, and we're now unable to see them. However, I've got a tab that has not yet refreshed, so while we won't be able to see all of her responses, we can at least see some of them.
Oh my god.
It looks like she responded to him saying, I worked with Xbox User Research. I was the URA for Global Publishing during 2018 to 2020. Nice to meet you. I also worked on various other titles during my time there, but got a better job opportunity on the Xbox community team.
So wait, this is another person that works as some sort of community manager that's like some unhinged psycho that's trying to, you know, get angry and use the company platform for them to talk about what they think? Oh my god.
We just did a video with Godot Engine. We just did that the other day. Absolutely insane. They're popping up. See? That one started. Here comes this one.
So she worked on Xbox User Research.
Yo, absolutely insane.
You've got to be kidding me. Why do we see so many community managers or like community team people who are some of the most unhinged and like angry at everything?
Well, here's the reason why. The reason why is because they want to tell other people what to do. Right. And they're focused around talking to people and making people do what they want, which is going to make them naturally gravitate towards things like, for example, community management roles. That's the reason why.
Becoming a recurring theme. Anyways, that wasn't the
and also it's people that like contribute no actual value to the product as well. So like these people aren't designers, they're not programmers, they're not artists, they're not anything. They're just community managers. I have a question for you. Do you ever at work feel Microsoft has shoved DEI expectations or pressured you? Microsoft
response that she made to him, because there's also this one where she said, oh, I have a question for you. Do you ever at any point feel Microsoft has shoved DEI expectations at you or pressured you? Now she's
How could they?
Bruh.
Like, isn't Ori about like
It's about a little glowing thing.
Like a walrus or something?
It's a little glowing thing.
And like a butterfly? Like
wisp. Yeah, wisp. That's what it's called.
What
wisp.
are you gonna make a
Or
gay
spirit.
walrus? No? Oh. It's a spirit trying to save the forest? Oh, so there's no walrus, right?
I'm like, where the fuck he get a walrus?
There's no walrus.
Where'd he
in the
get
game?
a walrus from, bro?
Okay, wrong game. All right. There's no never mind. All right, we gotta take a step back. No walrus. False alarm.
Reminded me of that Nat person from Godot, where after Asmongold gave a kind response, she then tried to get him in some sort of gotcha. It's funny how these people don't realize that.
It's always funny. This is what they said. You didn't expect to make follow through. Now that we've seen face to face, can you acknowledge that making content based off other people's drama is not really doing anything good for the world? No. No. I think it's great. I think these people are they're
We talked about this lady. She's like a Godot Engine community manager as well. She went crazy. DEI out the ass. Hey yo.
cancer. And I'm happy to be the radiation. I think they're awful. They're awful, they're annoying, they're the worst kind of people. So no, I think that I'm doing a public service. You're welcome.
Yeah, I know you won't agree, but hey, I made you read it.
They're the ones acting all crazy, and they try and pretend like everyone else is the problem.
Right.
Going back to the situation with Ray, Thomas responded to her, saying, well, I could explain it. I didn't want to cause you any trouble. I just saw you posting that you worked on Ori, and I had no idea who you are. Since you're calling people names online, I thought it was important to inform people that you never actually worked for Moon Studios, and that you didn't ever directly engage with anyone at Moon. Always be nice to people, Ray, even those you disagree with. While
There you go.
Oh man. Oh bro. Oh shit. Wait, wow. That's the thing, though, is this girl is using stolen valor, thinking that she worked on this game as if she's affiliated with them when she worked at Xbox and, like, you know, maybe, like, reviewed something for this game or something like that, trying to act like she's actually involved with the studio, trying to drag them into it and use them as her fucking cross. Like, she's trying to use them and put them on her side. It's annoying. It's so fucking funny. Yes. Fucking exactly. Going around calling people names. Starting drama.
I'm happy there's people like this. This makes me want to play their game. Like,
dragging his fucking studio into this. Oh my God.
I'm happy
they make
he
it so easy for these guys to
because
come out as heroes. I don't know why they do it. It's just, what an yes, this is calling people names and shit like this is nuts.
While some people were amused by his response there, other people seem like they're extremely upset by it. It's amazing.
Someone says, you believed any of this, you'd be having us talking DMs instead of trying to lead a harassment campaign with unprofessional grandstanding. You know who was trying to lead a harassment campaign is her. She literally started the series of tweets explicitly to harass people that disagreed with her. So what do you want to talk about? Like, this is the issue that they have, is people like this, they love harassing other people, but the moment they get harassed, now somebody's leading a harassment campaign against them. If it was him getting harassed, then they wouldn't have been saying anything.
Right.
And especially also, like, she tried to twist what he was saying about DEI. He just wanted to say she didn't work there. Like, that's it. But she's trying to use this for a fucking agenda.
This is what you call a simp. I didn't want to cause you any trouble, he says, after inadvertently sending hordes of people to her page who have done nothing but call her names and words. Hey, yo, at the end of the day, he lied. How about that? He earned your trust with a lie, and you're sticking with it. Cool.
That's it. She started it. Yeah, absolutely. It's not unprofessional grandstanding. It's actually very professional. If you want to go and if you want to use somebody else's intellectual property and say, I worked on this as a way to make your opinion more valid on the internet, you should like, even, bro, Costco, when P. Diddy got arrested, people thought that P. Diddy got the 1,000 bottles of baby oil from Costco. Costco put out a statement, and they said, no, he did not.
Hey, yo, that was crazy.
We don't sell it like that. That's not it. Take our fucking name out of this. We don't have anything to do with that fucking freak. So Costco did this.
Hey, yo, after we heard about Kanye West today, anything's possible, right? Jay-Z, man.
His fault whenever he did this. No fucking way. He did. They did, yes. They said, we ain't about that life. Absolutely. What's the rest of these? Any game dev that supports Grums ain't getting a cent out of me. Thanks for coin. What? I didn't want to cause any trouble after inadvertently sending hordes of people to her page that had done nothing but call her names and worse. Well, what do you mean? I mean, who do you think what was so, like, this is the problem, is like these people, they never think. I mean, you know, big surprise. It's easy to not to think whenever you're dumb. So what do you think happens to the people that work at Moon Studio when a person goes and uses the studio and, like, is using that as a soapbox to talk about what their, like, you know, their, like, extreme political view and call people names? People are going to get mad at other people that are working at that studio because, like, look at what happened with Halo, for example. Like, so recently there's been controversy with, like, the new Halo studios, and you have everybody saying, like, oh, Halo's dead now. Well, guess what? That's
the Harry Potter incident with the whole...
the reason why. Man. Pissed off the entire modern
and
audience.
Don't get me wrong, Harry Potter wasn't all that great, but they need to stop making people make decisions for them.
It's all 12 of them? Well, to be fair, it's 66 of them. So that's more than Concord. More than Dustborn, too. She never claimed to work for Moon Studios, only Ori via her employment by Xbox. No, it's not. It's extremely fair to say. Because he doesn't want to have his studio dragged into and his IP dragged into, like, her social struggle.
how upset these people are, simply because this guy wanted to clarify that the woman who recently went viral for making a completely unhinged rant is not directly involved with his company. There's some other tweets that we're unable to see because Ray went into protected mode. However, we can also see that Thomas responded to these ones saying, I thought the post was pretty clear and concise. By the way, you're not in the credits on any Ori games, so unless you changed your name at some point.
Man, that's a good one, huh? They're trying to inject themselves everywhere? Exactly.
Based off that context, we can presume that possibly Ray has an issue with the other response that Mahler made.
And this is why we review stuff like this, so we need to shut people like this down. The bullshit.
Now, the most pathetic thing possible is happening. To no one's surprise, some of the corpo journalists from Kotaku are getting involved. Quote tweeting Mahler's response and posting this article from 2022 from Kotaku that says, report Ori Studio accused of being oppressive, sexist workplace.
Oppressive, sexist workplace. I'm sorry to say that nobody gives a fuck whether a workplace is bad or not. Like, developers say Moon Studios' no bullshit policy gave founders license to bully and demean. For sure. Yeah, nobody cares about this. People just want to play the game.
That's it.
If there's an oppressive or sexist workplace, then there is a process to file a lawsuit against that. There's laws against this. So yeah, it's pretty simple, isn't it? Blizzard? Nobody gave a shit about Blizzard with that stuff. That's all done. People were mad at Blizzard for, you don't want to know why they were really mad at Blizzard? They're mad at Blizzard because of Shadowlands. That's why they were fucking mad.
It wasn't because of the argument. It's because they released a bad DLC. I know what? Nah, for real though. Have to people are playing the game, bro. The people playing the game don't really care about what's going on Twitter. They're playing the game. Half the people playing the game don't even go on Twitter. So people on Twitter don't play the game. Hence, if you wanna, hit me on Instagram. My Instagram's in my bio.
Developers say Moon Studios' no BS policy gave founders license to bully. And
Riot had the same shit happen.
If any of the accusations in that article are actually true, it's really gross how these journalists, drag this stuff up 2 years later.
Well, what they do is they, these people are publishing unsubstantiated rumors and allegations, and then they cross-reference each other to try to make these unsubstantiated rumors and, basically allegations that are never really proven in a lot of cases. They cross-reference each other to make it seem like it's more real. But the truth is, no, a lot of people don't give a shit about that.
Later, using the alleged victims in the article as their own personal army, though it is painting a very clear picture. None of the people angry with Mahler seem to have any responsive merit. They're either just seething in their responses or reposting this. However, plenty of people would also further defend Mahler. For example, this response saying, it's always the same untalented, useless, lazy, hate-filled people that come crawling out of the woodwork at any opportunity to try and drag someone successful down. I hope he's not stupid enough to fall for it. If they make good games, people will buy them.
That's absolutely true.
That's it. It's like a song. You listen to good music, you watch a movie. No one really cares about the background. If the movie's fire, bro, the game is fire. The song is good. People are gonna, as much as you like Drake. I like Drake. That Kendrick song was good. It was good, bro. This is what it is. I ain't saying Kendrick is better than Drake. The song is fire. A lot. It sucks. People if it's good, it's good. Black and white.
Nobody genuinely cares about the way a workplace is whenever they're buying a product, okay? Everybody owns phones that are made by slaves in cobalt mines. Do you think that somebody actually cares that there's an allegation of being sexist in some video game company? Nobody actually cares about this. No real people care about this. It's just, let's be honest. Everyone buy Ori
true.
1 and 2. Yeah, exactly. I'm really glad to see that a lot of like game studios and like people like this they feel more okay to speak out against this stuff, because these people are just such obnoxious and like just like rude bullies. That's really what they are. Thank God. And like I hope that a lot of other what do you call it? I hope that a lot of other like studios and people that work at these studios realize that, you know, these like weirdos and like these mentally ill freaks on Twitter really don't speak for the gaming community. They never did, but for a while companies didn't know how to deal with it, so they thought they did. The fact is that all you have to do is make a good game, and that you're not accountable to anybody else other than your audience. You're not accountable to journalists. You're not accountable.
And you know what's crazy, yo? And I know no gaming company is going to come across my video. I'm a small YouTuber. Really nobody. But if you do, and you're an indie game developer, and you want real feedback, read the comments under the YouTube video. Like, just type in your game. Or type in a game. And just read the comments. Don't go to Twitter. No one, listen, at this day forward, Twitter is not real. No one on Twitter is real. No one on Twitter is real. You want real feedback, and not Reddit either. Go to YouTube, read the comments under the game. I'm 100% telling you, you're going to find people that really play the game.
To a publication, you're not accountable to any Twitter user. You're only accountable to your audience.
Hey, when I'm done with this stream, I'll check it out.
And if you realize that, it's a lot easier to make content. More and more devs are becoming aware of that. Yeah, they are. And you can see a lot of people pushing back against this type of narrative. It's because people are just fed up with it. It's obnoxious.
Adam Savvy getting involved, saying, was it oppressive because he said no once in a while to someone? Mm-hmm. Given that she admits people don't get to choose how she represents them, I see no reason for anyone to take anything she says seriously.
Who cares?
She referencing the Kotaku journalist. However, someone would respond to Savvy saying, I mean, it's Kotaku, so take it with a grain of salt. But if true, I think that's not a way to talk at the...
By writing low, you're retarded.
Where you see that?
Bro, who do you think plays video games? People that talk like this. I really need a woman? Yeah, who do you think plays video games? Who cares? Nobody gives a fuck about this. There are no real people who care about this. What is this? Completely bullshit.
Especially when you are CEO, including an image seemingly from the Kotaku article, to which Savvy responds saying, this is the worst they have. That, really? Mm-hmm. Not only is there zero context, but this is how people talk to each other when they're friends, too. The I really need a woman remark is probably from a string of jokes being made.
Yeah.
The other person retorts saying, sure, friends. But truth is, there is no friends at work, especially if you're on the higher position than your supposed friends. Sure, not really a big deal, but still not a good look.
A good look to who? Who cares?
No one cares, bro. He's basically saying if you're the boss, you can't have friends. That's bullshit. Mike talks shit to us all day. Mike talks shit all day. He the boss. So, and no one gives a fuck. Come on, bro.
Am I supposed to care about this? Why would I care about this? Why? Why is this my problem? Like, what? I don't care what's... It's some... What? It's just like, why? Like, imagine, like, this is... Project... Yes, what? Twitter judges, yes.
And the current final response in this conversation here from Savvy saying, people will value those words accordingly. If that's a red flag for you, that's totally okay. For me, it isn't. I'd actually hate to work at a place that didn't use that kind of language. You can still have corpo
who
structure
cares?
mixed with friend structure, just so long as you have respect for who's in charge at the end of the day. But everyone views workplaces different. So you saw this part, which is some of the evidence that they're trying to use against Mahler. However, there's also a little bit more than that.
Oh, here we go.
In this next section, they say that Mahler insisted on having the main character's origin story revolve around something very dark, and that allegedly Mahler wanted to do this to motivate the character to end up being a very cool character who does very cool things. And sure, that's a very dark and very terrible thing to happen to that character.
Okay.
It is just a character, though.
What?
And many characters throughout fiction have had equally bad or even worse things happen.
How is that a bad
I think
thing?
we can confidently say that these journalists would absolutely hate Berserk. And my gosh, I can only imagine
who do they think cares about this?
they'd say.
It's unbelievable.
About my last
What
Hearts
is
of Iron
this?
4 campaign. Anyways, it's pretty
How's this
amusing
even
how all
real?
of this
They're
started
bored.
once again because
They
Ray
gotta be.
wanted to make that
So-
giant unhinged rant.
They do bored
Just
people
really
do dumb
wanted to
shit.
defend
This is
DEI.
dumb.
Gotta defend those DEI consultation firms. Go
Be
figure that all of this
serious.
would attract gaming journalists to run to her defense. Hopefully Ray will have some self-reflection while she's protected on Twitter and realize that all of this was really unnecessary and unhinged, and you know, there's no reason to act like this trying to bootlick for these consultation firms and all that. Maybe she'll actually turn a new leaf. Let me know
Well,
what you think.
I hope that a lot of, she's not going to turn a new leaf. She's just a mentally ill, obnoxious, community manager. There's nothing that's ever going to change. She's never going to get better. There's never going to be a point where, she's like, oh, wow, I'm actually an asshole. That's never going to happen. But here's the way I see it. You look at these kinds of people, are Gamers here? I'm not sure. But with these kinds of people, yesterday, all of her handles were offline. I have no idea whether she,
Makes
turned
sense.
off her stuff or not. But, so every time he does, stupid AU breakdance video. Oh, I don't know about that. Video isn't full, there's more of it. Well, maybe there is.
Think about all of this in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed my coverage, please also consider liking and or subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. Realize that these types of publications and these types of people are no longer the gatekeeper to audiences. And it's good to see different heads of studios just kind of telling them to shut the fuck up. And no, we don't want to have anything to do with you. We're just making video games. Leave us alone, fucking
Facts.
weirdo, right? So yeah. And if it is a problem, then there's a whole, this is a great video.
The power of the internet, man. Times have changed. It's not in a magazine no more. They could talk.
I remember
Everyone
seeing
has-
this
everyone
whenever
has
it
a
was
voice.
happening on Twitter. It was so fucking funny. I prefer a boss talking like that. A lot of people do. We need to support more mental hospitals. We need funding. Well, I think it's also really important to support people that are like Thomas here, because you want to make sure that these people know that they're not the minority. The people that think like him are actually the vast majority. Most people don't want to be talked down to by somebody who feels like they're trauma dumping whenever they're complaining about some bullshit. Going to the gym, what the fuck? This is this is massively one-sided. And there's only a handful of people that try to make this a big problem, and those people have bad intentions. Most rational people.
That's 100%, y'all. Hey, yo, it's your boy 41 Pop. We're going to wrap this up. Like and subscribe to the video. Peace.